Ahoy and welcome back to another video. My name is Frogheim, but you can call me Perm. So today I want to talk about the latest chapter of Hero Organization. So we start off by seeing how the crew is just talking about all the stuff that went down last chapter with Georgy, where they explain his whole situation of his old crew all getting slaughtered. He's the only survivor. But this chapter we get more insight on what actually may have gone down. Although the crew can't really confirm it, it is mostly suspicions at this point, but it does seem pretty plausible that Georgy may have himself orchestrated a Star Beast attack on his own crew. Although it did leave him gravely injured after the attack, I wouldn't put it past Georgy if he actually made sure that he also took some damage just to make this attack seem a bit more believable. Because when you think about it, if everybody else gets slaughtered but he's coming out on top without a scratch, then obviously something's up, right? Because that doesn't seem very likely at all, especially since he was very young at the time. Although he was really good for his age, everybody has their limits, so he had to kind of come out having taken some serious injury but still ending up victorious. Now what I found really interesting is how Yuri was immediately taken into custody as he arrived on the moon by Georgy and his people, which does kind of imply that he's been caught in what they're doing. Now the question that I have is, how much does Georgy know? Like, is he actually aware that Leo is in on it, or does he think that Yuri is working alone, or at least with some other people? Because later in the chapter we also see how Georgy actually approaches Leo, who's supposed to be meeting Yuri, so he clearly knows where to find Leo, and that is something that really bothers me, because now I'm thinking, is he just letting Leo play this little game, thinking he has an edge on Georgy, but really Georgy knows exactly what's going on all this time, just to see how he plays it out, especially since he insists on bringing Leo on these tasks that he wants him to do for him, which just feels like he's trying to waste Leo's time or distract him from doing other things. The last thing I'm gonna touch on is the whole situation with Husky, because we see Husky having a meeting with some sketchy people, let's just call them that, as Husky is in search of a special A.I.G.I.S, which is really interesting, right? Because normally he would just go for his go-to A.I.G.I.S, now he's looking at these other ones. Really interesting designs, by the way. I really like how they're designing all these A.I.G.I.S, especially the ones we haven't really seen before. But what he's really after is something that they have locked away, and they are really on edge when they find out that Husky is aware of this. Now we don't really see the name, I'm pretty sure, but we see a symbol of what looks like a sword, which implies some kind of medieval-esque name, right? I'm hoping we get to see some kind of reference to like the Round Table, whether it's like a King Arthur, like Excalibur or something. Would be really cool to see. But yeah, they're really on edge when he mentions that he knows what they got locked away, like to the point where they actually hold Husky at gunpoint. Now Husky doesn't really give a shit, because you know, it's Husky and he just does his own thing, you know, he doesn't really care at this point. He's been through some shit and he's just diving into this whole deal with them. But we don't really get to see much more of that. We only really get to see a shot of that legendary A.I.G.I.S, right? Which is, I mean, we don't even see the A.I.G.I.S itself. We only really see the symbol on the box, which again, like I said, is like the sword, right? So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what kind of A.I.G.I.S that is, because I'm guessing Husky is somehow going to get his hands on that. But until that happens, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Anyway, that has been my review for Hero Organization chapter 66. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. I have been Frogheim, and I'll see you next time.